So we're here in Clovis, California. We just finished installing a Navian 240S. That's the largest model that they make. And one of the first things we did is the homeowner is going to come in and put some benches in. He's got quite an extensive work area out here. And he didn't want this hung down real low. So we went ahead and mounted up pretty high. You've got pretty good clearance right here. I'm going to say every bit of 6 foot off the floor to the bottom of that unit minimum. And then we kept all the piping tight. As you can see, all the piping is tight to the wall. It's not dropping down real far. The only thing that had to come down was the condensate line, unfortunately, but we did wrap it tight to the wall. Gas line as well. You can see, normally we are within the flexible supply line. That's all we need to hook up because the unit is mounted right over here, like right in front of us. So we put on some extra fittings, pipe nipples, brought it over, all 3/4 in the event that the demand for this unit becomes too great and the gas supply is not enough. We did let the homeowner know that we'd come back and run a dedicated line from the meter over. It'd be a 1-inch line, and then it would just be surface mount up toward the top of the ceiling, around and drop down and tie right back into this valve. But for right now, it's functioning correctly. It typically does. Navian boasts up to 24 feet of 1/2-inch pipe, and we're well within that parameter from the main. So starting here, we got them a new shutoff valve. It's full 3/4 valve there, full 3/4 gas supply line up to the unit. We did put in the NORIT's flush kit for them as per contract. That makes it super easy to come in and descale this unit once every 6 months, once a year, whatever you decide. So that's installed. Also, we put a shutoff valve on the hot and the cold. Now, those are not required because you've got shutoff valves on the NORIT's kit. However, if you ever decide, if something ever goes wrong with this kit, you need to work on it, you need to change something, you've got these isolation valves up top. It's only required for cold, but we put them on both sides. It's just the way we are. So back in here, you can see these are Watts full port 3/4 ball valves. So you got one on the cold side and then one on the hot side, just a 1/4 turn off, 1/4 turn on, and that isolates everything. That keeps the water contained, the hot water from bleeding back out, the cold water from squirting out. So you've got these isolation valves as well as the hot on the NORIT's and the cold on the NORIT's, and then of course these are the flush valves. Relief line is in. This comes with the kit. It's a 500,000 BTU, 150 PSI. The only thing I don't like about the relief valve that comes with the NORIT's kit is when you activate this, it squirts water out. And I don't think that should be happening, but they all do it. It's not a problem when it's off. There's no water dripping out of it. But when you activate it, you get water out of that. Everything else is solid copper and brass construction. So you've got copper coming out of the wall. This is where the valves and the supply lines used to be. So we put 90s on, copper adapters, brass valves, more copper adapter, copper all the way over. And then you can see off the bottom of the hot side, we've got a solid brass 90 and a brass nipple here, as well as the solid brass flush, hot flush side. Over here we tied in copper because we didn't have a long enough nipple to use brass on this side. And then brass nipple off of the relief valve. These are Falcon stainless steel connectors. They're full inside 3/4 diameter. This is our connector of choice. We use it on all of our tank type and tankless water heaters, so that's good. And then of course the half-inch PVC drops down, goes out of the building, and that's for the condensate. Now up top, don't have a ladder, but we've got the intake, as you can see. That just pulls air in from the garage, so plenty of room in here. Then the exhaust, you can see that goes through the wall as well, and makes a penetration outside right here. So nice cover plate. What we like to do on the outside of the building, even though it's tucked in underneath the eave, is we have just a bunch, sorry, not even taking a picture of it, just a bunch of pure silicone that, first of all, we caulk the hole where the pipe comes through, completely inside and around the hole. Then we caulk surface all the way around and mount that little flange, the cover plate, especially around the top, 180 degrees around, and then we seal the front. So we want to make sure that any moisture on that wall whatsoever does not get back into the wall cavity. Then, of course, got a coupling on there, and then the screen that keeps, I guess, very large insects from getting in there, but it is pretty open. So that's hot exhaust coming out of there. And then there's the new condensate line that we stubbed out. We did get silicone in there as well, and then a cover plate just makes it look pretty so that it's stubbed out. This is the existing relief valve line that we've tied into. Because the unit is mounted so high, we're able to utilize it. So that's still the relief valve condensate line. So everything in here is good. And outside of that, this installation is done.